All right, guys, we're here with one of my longtime.
Can I tell my mom not to do that? I'm so
Mom, be quiet. All right, go ahead. Tell her. Let's talk about Judy's mom in the meantime. So, I went to a restaurant, and I thought Judy's mom wanted me to date Judy. I was expecting some good service. She spilled tea on me, man. Oh my! What kind of way is that to treat a son-in-law? Prospect.
What?
Sorry,
Yeah.
got interrupted with some side note. All right, we're here with Judy.
We're actually gonna. You're gonna keep that.
Yeah, what's no big deal.
Alright.
Yeah,
And why
so we're
not? Sure.
meeting my good friend Judy Lee, Robin, and his wife Hadassah. Hadassah's here to practice her English. But anyways, Judy, today we wanted to share something very special that I've been thinking about for quite some time. I want to apologize. I made fun of Judy a million times, and I never understood how important her job was until my dad died. And unfortunately, that's how it takes dumb people like me to learn. But Judy is a cancer nurse, highly respected, I'm sure she's a wonderful nurse because she's young. And not like those older nurses that make you feel depressed. So we're going to talk about a little bit about our friendship.
Are you stereotyping nurses?
Yeah, of course I'm stereotyping nurses. Why? And we're going to talk about her job as a nurse. Judy, you want to say anything real quick before we go into a little intro?
No,
You
I
good?
don't. No, I'm good.
Okay. I apologize if you're wondering why I'm not making sense. That's me being authentic.
Got it.
Gotcha. All right. We're going to start off with a little card
Oh.
I brought.
Oh, right card.
This is from,
Oh.
I want to read it for you.
I cannot read it
Why?
because I don't like it when people read
But,
the cards that I write.
oh my, all right, can I read 2 sentences?
Can you just?
All right, I'll just read that.
Oh my gosh.
I love you, your friend Judy Lee. How about that? All right, I got this whole card. I thought it was nice. I read it at Robin's wedding. He was happy when I wrote the card. I thought this card was really sweet.
Oh, why?
So I can read it now that I said it's sweet?
No.
All right. Well, you can read it
No,
afterwards.
okay, I'll read it.
Okay.
How about I'll read it personally.
Okay.
I'll find it, like,
That was awkward. Anyways, so Judy, where do we begin?
I don't know.
Why don't you talk about when we first met and our friendship?
I think we met at SCP.
SCP?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. What was your first impressions?
I thought you were arrogant.
Okay, is that a second impression or just the first one?
I think it was the first impression.
Woof! Thank God. It ended that way. So just the first impression.
Yeah.
I was arrogant. Was it because I was tall?
No, I just think you had a arrogant presence. Arrogant.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah,
know
but
what?
you did, so it's okay.
You know what?
Yeah, it's okay, right?
When multiple data points point to the same thing, I cannot deny it. Because May said that in her story too.
Oh.
So I guess I am a very arrogant person. I apologize. Go ahead. Any other thoughts?
That's it.
Wow. Thought you could paint a more well-rounded picture of me.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when did we become friends?
Oh, you had a crush.
Go ahead. Yeah, I love it. More dirt. Go ahead.
Yeah, you had a
Yeah,
crush
I like
on one
it.
of the girls in dance.
Dance? No.
Yes.
That we were friends before I had a crush on
No,
Jessica.
that's not true. I think.
I didn't. We.
Then you like too many people, man. Back in the day, I didn't even
Oh,
get track
yeah,
of everybody.
This is not supposed to be about me. This story. It's supposed to be about us. Us. Our friendship. Okay, I had a crush on Jessica. Let's continue.
And
Yeah. And I needed an inside man to help me. Yeah.
Yes, I'm the inside man.
You needed it. I needed inside. Okay. What else do you remember?
I mean, I remember other things, but I don't remember if I want to share it on the podcast.
Well, I need some alcohol, guys. Robin, any thoughts about when you met Judy? You knew Judy before me.
Yeah, I mean, Judy and I knew each other. Well, actually, way back when, actually, when we were really small, actually.
Yeah.
But we didn't really know each other. We kind of knew each other back.
Of each other. We knew of each
we
other.
know of each other.
Yeah.
Was he arrogant too?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I would like to say I was almost invisible. How about that? I was not noticeable.
I think everyone knew Ryan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
yeah.
But we actually really enjoyed our time together. I personally thought during the summer school years when we were in high school and things like that.
I think Ryan did something nice.
Ryan's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but you and Garrett really got to know each other in college, I thought, right?
high school.
No?
I think in high school.
Oh, in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember when I became friends with you, specifically, the exact moment. We were at McDonald's, and I always ignored you. But somehow, for whatever reason, I started talking to you. And you sat next to me, and I was such a loser in high school. I literally said to myself, don't ever take for granted the fact that you can have a meal with a girl. Even though it was Judy, and that's what I said to myself. And we became friends. And then, yeah, Judy, you should laugh. That's how much a loser I am. Do you know this? That was my inner thoughts. I was like, keep it together, remember? Pretend like this is normal, but it wasn't, because I didn't have any friends. And the fact that the girl could sit next to me, and not in a sexual or attractive way, but the fact that I had a friend that was a girl, I thought that was kind of meaningful.
I didn't have any guy friends.
Or friends. I mean, guy friends.
No,
Sorry,
of
sorry.
course Judy had
I know it's a
friends.
joke. It's a joke. It's a
I didn't
joke.
have any guy friends.
It's a joke.
I don't know.
Yes.
I felt like I didn't.
Not like a close guy friend.
No,
Yeah.
because I felt like I was very not shy, but like I felt like I don't know. Like I felt like guys are not supposed to be girls with friends.
Say it again.
No, like I don't know. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's
Like
like
girls shouldn't have friends that are guys.
yes. I
I
truly
know.
thought that.
You would say it's weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
Or
yeah,
if
it's
you
really
to
weird.
use her words back then, this is the early 2000s before I would get canceled. Judy would say something like, "That's gay. That's gay, Garrett. Why would you do that?" Am I correct, Judy?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Please don't get her fired.
we're not saying her last name. There is no last name here.
You said my maiden name in the beginning.
Did I?
You'll also have a picture of her.
Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about friendship. So what happened was we became friends a little bit, and then you came to church,
I came back to church.
and you said that I'll let you finish the story. What was your perspective?
I mean, I felt like I had a friend at church, and I always wanted to come back to church.
And I was your friend.
You were my friend. Yeah.
And if it makes you feel any better, Judy, I don't like any of the kids in church that I grew with. Zero. I don't like Mrs. Chee's kids, David Wong's kids. Hell, anybody with a last name Wong, I didn't like their kids. I didn't like anybody. I don't even like... Just putting it out there. And then
Yeah.
I was a loser for the longest time. And the first friend I ever had was Judy in 12th grade.
And I remember I went to church when I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel comfortable around
Yes.
some of the other kids at church, and I remember I stopped going, and I was like, man, I wish I had a friend at church. Remember that?
Me too.
Yeah,
I never had a friend
yeah.
until Judy. So sad.
My friend ended up being a guy, but yeah, I wanted.
It wasn't gay because I'm a guy and Judy's a girl. It was anything but gay. It was actually heterosexual, but I don't know why Judy would use that word choice. She was very inner city like at that time. Was that what you would say?
I don't know.
No comment. All right, cool. This is inner city Judy, Jefferson Judy.
No, but I did. I remember. I actually prayed that I had a friend at church.
Dang, that was your answer to prayer.
I did pray.
All right,
I
cool.
did. Yeah, I did though. Yeah.
And let's continue. So we would be friends, and not only were we friends, I would wake you up and bring you to church and encourage you to come. Yes,
you
go
did.
ahead.
You did. 'Cause
Yes.
I had very little motivation.
You had inabilities to wake up on time and get out, and I
Yes.
would have to drag you, and I would wake you up. And how old were you when I was in 12th grade?
I was 16. I was.
Oh, my bad. My bad. You're only 1 year younger. I felt like I was talking about someone a lot younger than me. Yes, go ahead. Okay.
I was 16.
Okay, and I was 17. So we were good friends. Anything else you remember about our friendship at that time?
I mean, I felt like you motivated me to do a lot of things.
I did? I tried to motivate you to jog. You could never jog.
Yeah.
You didn't know how to jog.
I didn't jog until I was like 21.
You said...
I didn't jog consistently until I was 20. I mean, I haven't jogged in a long time now.
I mean, I don't jog
After
either.
having
That's okay.
kids, but
That's okay,
I'm just
Judy.
saying, like,
Robin, I saw you jog across the street when the light changed.
That's considered
And Judy said she wasn't capable of jogging.
I honestly think
incapable.
She said she was-
capable. It was the hardest. It was really hard.
Want me to tell
Like,
you how
it
good
was-
Judy was at jogging? She did a 20-minute mile on the
Yeah.
on the treadmill with a bag of chips.
18 minutes.
18 minutes with a bag of chips. That's incredible, Judy. 18-minute treadmill mile.
Yeah.
I didn't know the treadmill could go that slow.
I don't think I can. I don't think I really exercised until I was like 20.
I
Yeah.
know. I tried to make you exercise for whatever. Okay, now this is
Sorry.
obviously a bold-faced lie because Judy doesn't remember things as clearly as I do. You were an athlete. Tell me about this.
I was a bench warmer.
You were. What sport did you play?
Volleyball.
So you did move.
I didn't.
You did move in volleyball, like side to side, front and back.
I don't know. I didn't get a lot of playtime.
Yeah, but you did exercise a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember one time. Most of the players thought there wasn't practice, but there was. So the coach kind of punished us.
Yes.
And she made us do like suicide.
What did you do?
I mean, I did it, but
You ran?
I was like probably the last person to finish.
Well, I want you to remind me to come back to exercise because there's a good story later.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we became friends, Judy, and for whatever reason, I think you didn't judge me for being me. I like the joke. You like to laugh.
I thought you were funny. I did think you were funny.
But arrogant.
I mean, I initially thought you were arrogant.
So I'm humble now.
I don't know about humble.
I'm your friend. I must be humble.
I don't know. If
Yeah, with you, I can't be that cool.
I don't know if humble is the opposite of arrogant.
Down to earth.
Down to earth.
How about down to earth? All right, cool. Anything else you remember? 12th grade, our friendship. Other than me trying to get a girl and failing.
I mean, I remember taking a long time to find gifts for you.
What did you buy me?
Bought you a book.
Which one? 12th grade. What did you...
5 Love Languages.
No, that was when I was in college.
No, I think you were in 12th grade.
I'm positive. Don't worry.
This is before you started college.
Okay, I'm 100%.
So you weren't in
No, I'm 100%. You're wrong. 100%. I had the card. I just looked at the card last night when I went through this card. It said "Happy 20th birthday." I bought you this book because I know you struggle with loving people, and I sent the picture to Chen Yin.
Okay.
So I know
the
very
world? What the
because
world?
she said I struggle with love people. I want her to know I wasn't.
I have
Yeah.
2 kids. My memory's not.
I know. I
sharp.
told you. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right. Cool. So we were good friends. Okay. We go to college. Anything else? And then I went to University of Maryland. You went to the University of Maryland after me.
Yes.
Any spiritual connection between us?
I mean, I think you were always a spiritual role model for me. You were.
It's not gay though, right?
I admire your like. I feel like acts of service is really important for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anything? You,
And I admire that.
acts of service. Well, I did. Well, how about this? As a friend to you, Judy, anytime that I thought you could improve on something, I try to help you improve in it.
Yes, you did.
Whether it's school stuff or friends or exercise or anything,
Anything,
I always
yeah,
try to share
yeah.
those positive things with you.
Yeah. Or just more confidence in general.
I try to help you have confidence. Explain that to me. I would always put you down. I know where she got confidence is when I called her and I said, "我 Judy 相冲啊." I mean, hey, Tonga, 对不起.
That's just your poor Chinese.
My poor Chinese made you feel good.
Yeah, no, it's just.
I'm just being silly, Judy. How did I encourage you?
I think you just pushed me.
Did I just push you?
In what directions though? How about that?
No,
On the
like,
ground?
Like no.
Sexually
Not
harassment?
physically, but like you kind of like come on, let's do it.
Do it? Like what?
Come
What
on,
are we
let's
talking?
do it.
What are we talking about? I don't remember. What did I push you in?
I mean, just even like waking up. Come on, get out now.
I had to wake her up. Okay. Anything else?
I mean, trying to think.
No worries. Let's go to college. So we did go to same church, and that was very, I guess, you know what it was? I created a friend group, and I invited you into that friend group, and I think you felt special from that.
I did.
Dijong and Yizhua and
Yeah, I did.
Try. Maybe you didn't like Try. I don't think you like Try. You don't like him, right?
Damn,
I like-
you put that on
I
record?
like try. What are you talking about?
Nod your head if in the direction.
What are you talking about?
Okay, you like Try. Okay, cool. So you enjoyed the friend group, right?
Yes.
Especially Try. Okay, cool.
Where's this going?
I just thought you'd be honest. Okay.
What?
Yeah, you know what it was? I introduced you to a lot of people.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Even my ex-girlfriend.
I'm shy.
Uh-huh.
I have a hard time meeting.
You got along with Cindy.
I know I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're not at first.
I'm still. I I still talk to Cindy.
She didn't like you when we first met. No, no one listens to this podcast. Nobody listens. Come on, don't kid yourself. I wish you. I mean, that'd be okay. But okay, my point was, I introduced you to even my ex-girlfriend. You ended up becoming friends with.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's crazy. There were a lot of people you met. All right.
Yes.
That you liked. All right, cool. You went to University of Maryland. What did you think? What else that sticks out in our friendship?
I don't know if I should answer more of a career question direction or a friendship direction.
I can answer that career question for you. I remember sitting in the dining hall with Judy and saying, Judy struggles with being decisive. Am I correct, Judy? This is for Robin. How many of y'all struggle with being indecisive? I remember looking at Jennifer's show. She goes, yeah, I'm indecisive. Judy goes, I'm decisive. Indecisive. Am I indecisive? I think I'm decisive. Kara, what am I? Am I indecisive or undecisive? Decisive. I'm like, Judy, you are the perfect picture of what it means to be indecisive. So you were indecisive, and I think a lot of our relationship was that I kind of tried to help guide you.
I think so, yeah.
And I remember that it was, I'll give you two examples. When we went somewhere, you must have liked being around me so much that you just followed me. Don't lie.
Yeah, I guess
she followed me.
I'm a sidekick.
Okay.
Sidekick. Like, I went to a job interview, and she's like, I'm bored. Like, can I come? She's like, okay. And we go to the metal detector. The guy goes, is that your sister? I'm like, no, it's my friend. My point is, they looked at the way I treated you like I was your big brother.
Yeah. I think it was kind of like that. Yeah.
And then I remember always guiding you. And for your career, I remember Judy. It wasn't me, but I don't know if you want to talk about that or not. Don't talk about it. All right, cool. There was another friend who was there. And he said, let's just pick the two dumbest majors, criminology and communications. We're going to flip a coin, Judy.
Communication, criminology, and philosophy.
Just flip it. It's either communications or criminology. And we just couldn't figure out what you should study. I think eventually you graduated with public health.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Any other thing?
I wanted to do nursing, but College Park did not have nursing. So I picked the major that I could see myself like doing something in. And then I was in the back of my head, I always wanted to go to nursing school.
Okay.
And actually the person that helped me decide on being a nurse was Ryan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Props to you, Ryan.
It was Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Make sure you
great.
share this with Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Ryan.
don't know if Ryan listens to your podcast.
No, nobody listens to it.
But I will let him know.
Yeah, it was Ryan. Yeah.
I'll share one other story for us before we get into your career.
Okay.
Tell me about your experience when you went with me to summer training program, STP.
Oh gosh, I think it was hard.
So
Like everywhere, it was completely out of my comfort zone.
But it was SCT.
So it was a 10-day retreat or 12-day.
12.
Oh, well, Judy remembers. She was like prison time.
I
She
counted
counted
down the
them days like
I was
prison.
so
something.
happy when I woke up on the 12th day. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go home today.
She said every day she would talk to me and my not even girlfriend at the time. It
was hard.
She would try to plan how to sneak home and to get in the bus. So anyways, let me give a background. It was a training, it was a retreat for those who are interested in being a missionary. So to be a missionary, you got to be tough, which is what I believe in. And the guy said at the beginning of the retreat, he goes, guys, probably didn't say guys, but he says, every day at 5:30, we're going to wake up and we're going to run 2 miles. And he said, nobody in the history of this program has ever walked the 2 miles. I was like, okay. So Judy, why don't you finish the story for me?
I did not like running.
So what happened?
I don't like running.
No, yeah, especially at 5:30. So what happened?
I corked my leg.
Hey, Court,
My
she made up a she made up an injury. You know, like those athletes. I had a hammy, a stinger. She made up an injury. I
I'm just gonna
corked
let
my
you know
knees. I
that
still don't know what that word means. I've never heard it
The
before.
modern dance teacher
Yeah.
at College Park used the word cork.
Yeah, for wine.
I don't know, but
I've never heard, and I've been through a lot of orthopedics and PT. I've never could figure out what a cork meant. But Judy said, I corked my knee. And she was the only person ever in the history of this program to walk. Congratulations, Judy. You're so
God.
special.
Oh goodness.
You know, anything else that stands out from that time?
I mean, everything was out of my comfort zone. Meeting people. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I was your friend.
Yeah, but you were like with the guys.
Oh yeah, I know. I bet you wish you were hanging out with me and the guy.
It
Yeah.
was just completely out. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm not
Uh-huh.
used to the cabin. I'm just not used to. I mean, it's just everything. I didn't know anybody. I remember when we had to do missions in the city.
Yeah.
We drove into New York City.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, like talking to strangers was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, you know, especially about Christianity when you yourself are not very confident,
Okay.
you know, about your own faith.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah. A lot of things were hard.
Yeah,
Waking up,
waking up early was hard.
corking that knee was hard.
It was hard.
Uncorking it was hard too. As soon as she got home and got uncorked, I heard.
I didn't mind like the community service. That was fun.
Good.
Like cleaning the stove and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I didn't mind.
Okay,
That was
okay.
fine. Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
I guess you and I, we had a real good friendship. I'd say in some ways you were my best friend. Between you and Luis, me and Luis and you, I think you were definitely one of my best friends. I don't know how you felt.
No, I definitely felt like you were one of my best friends.
Woo! That's good. Thank God. I would have really felt like a loser if you didn't consider me one of your best friends.
No, I wrote it in the card. Oh no, don't read it though. Don't please.
I will never forget your kindness. And that's why we're here today. All right. So, to tell you the truth, you know, without being into specifics, you dated. I started dating. You had your own life. I was still part of your life. And I tried to still be your friend. It was, let's use the Facebook term, it was complicated. It's complicated.
I
And
think it's that definition, but okay.
and we kind of lost a little bit touch, but there was certainly a good amount of time between 2002 and 2006-07. You and I certainly appreciated a lot of things about you.
Oh, I appreciate a lot of things about you too. I feel like even though I had my own life, you know, I don't know, like I was always grateful for you, and I always knew that if I needed something, I could have reached out to you. I knew that.
Did I ever get angry at you?
I think you have.
One time because you were too slow.
I think you told me one time you had a dream that you were just so angry. You were like,
Okay, a little bit of fun, a little spice in this friendship, a little drama.
No,
Okay.
I think you said like because I dated somebody, and you were so angry about
my
it. You were like,
God.
you said you were like literally like.
Who was the person?
my first boyfriend?
Oh, I had a dream about that.
Yeah, you told me that.
Wow.
You remember that? Yeah.
Dang,
you
I've
said you were
always-
like punching the air and stuff.
Punching the air.
Well, it's not
Now my
usual
question
about
is, you
that.
go back in time. Never mind. We're not going there. But life got a little complicated. But there's a little girl here at the table. That's so cute. It's Judy's daughter, Summer.
That's a picture when we were outside, but a long time ago. Yeah, that's when we were outside really long time ago. That's it.
What do I do with kids? I don't know how to deal with kids.
I don't either.
Let me see how fast you can run away from us.
Get ready for sleepy time.
I'm
Ready for
kidding.
sleepy time. Your
Uh,
wife's very sweet.
yeah. Judy, I really appreciated how I could always enjoy talking to you. I did enjoy that, and you had a great sense of humor.
Oh, thank you. I never thought I.
And no matter what I said to you, you always laughed.
Well,
And I do like to
I do
teach.
think you're funny. I do.
Thank God, because if it wasn't, I'd be in jail for sexual harassment and every crime under the sun. Robin, any other thoughts? No, you know, kind of knew us.
Nah, I got nothing.
Feel free to interject anytime.
Yeah.
So, this is what we really want to talk about today. Since that time, tell me about how nursing school was, and maybe your time there, and how did you feel?
Nursing school is hard. I did an accelerated program, and it was also an accelerated master's program.
At UM?
University of Maryland, Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good program. It is. It's hard. Yeah.
It's crazy. I didn't know how smart you were.
No, I don't think I'm.
When I say smart, I mean smarter than me.
No, you're smart, Judy.
I think I'm average at best.
Oh my
I think.
God.
Yeah.
We must be dumb.
It Yeah, I mean it is hard, but I think nursing school is purposely hard
Absolutely.
because I feel like it's very important because like I feel like for nurses they're kind of like the last line. Like let's say like the like and this they
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
it's like,
COVID.
well, also, but it's like, let's say the physician overlooks something and the pharmacy verifies something, they overlook something. The nurse is the last person to give the drug.
Got it.
So-
The first and the last, probably.
Yeah, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, I think they do it. I think they make the program hard just because I feel like the occupation itself is very hard and there's just so many responsibilities. So I think they make it like that. You know, they make the program hard just to prepare.
If I were to go back in time and being older now, I would probably worry that you would pass nursing school, but I'm happy and I'm surprised you did.
Oh,
Like, because I didn't know you had it in you, and I'm sure it was very hard.
I think I once suggested that you should be a male nurse. Remember, I suggested that to you. I said,
Let me tell you one of the hardest classes I ever took. Anatomy 1.
okay, fine.
Do you know how hard Anatomy 1 is? I had to cheat. I'm just kidding. I didn't have to cheat, but I mean, all the PE teachers were like, "Please, kid, we need to band together to pass the hardest class of career, Anatomy 1." So, Judy, I'm not lying when I say
fine,
I'm very impressed by people who are smarter than me.
But it was a hard program because not only were you trying to graduate with a nursing curriculum, but also you're trying to do the master portion of it as well. So it's yeah, I would say it's probably one of the tougher things I've done.
So, how long was the program?
It was less than 2 years. I think it was 16 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was that hell?
it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. I didn't.
What would you say was like one of the hardest parts of you in like a particular moment?
Oh, I mean, I thought. I mean, there was.
Let me tell it. I don't know if you tell it. She can probably pick up all that noise in the background.
I'll
I'm
be right.
not sure. We'll let Judy handle her daughter. Anything else, Robin? In the meantime,
Well, I'll,
anything I could lift out or?
I will share one
Yeah, yeah.
hilarious story, and it really showed the bond between you and Judy.
Yeah.
Was when back in the Ryan program, we all went to a Halloween was it out in the woods?
my
Remember?
God.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I will. I'll bring that up. We'll save that for Judy.
Okay.
Judy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's one of our Gail, one of my favorite memories.
All right, you ready?
It's kind of sad. I mean, you know, it's it's fun to laugh.
Look, man. Judy is a scaredy cat.
I'm still
You're scared of
cat.
You're scared of pigeons. I don't know what's up with Judy. You're from the inner city. I don't know how you're.
I'm not
of-
scared of pigeons anymore.
You're scared of speaking correct grammar.
Proper grammar.
Proper grammar. I'm sorry. I am too. I'm sorry. I'm a PE teacher. So we went one time. This is the truth. We went to a haunted forest, and it was too scary for Judy. It was so scary for Judy that even the people who worked there felt bad for her. They stopped scaring
They
her.
weren't supposed to touch you, remember? They like.
That's true.
And that's sexual harassment. They touched. So Judy, do you remember that night?
I remember.
No, you don't. You're not. Your eyes were closed the whole damn night, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Were you tired?
So we had to go through this maze and this path in the forest, and I literally carried her on my back.
Yeah, I don't know how tired you were.
Back, hold you a baby. Had to carry her like a baby, and she would cry into my back like, right, Judy?
I mean,
Why do you do that?
No, she was crying
Okay, so you carry her
because she had to walk through the maze and she couldn't walk because she was so scared. I picked her
Oh,
up
I
and
see.
carried her.
I was more. I don't know how tired you were.
No, I got strong quads. It's not like you weigh over 95 pounds. She's very tiny, for those who don't know. 5'2". Yeah.
5'1".
5'1". Scoliosis too. Take that one. Yes, you cried the whole time, and I had to. It was not romantic, guys. It wasn't like I'm a knight in shining armor. It was literally like a father picking up a crying baby. Is that true, Judy?
Yes, but I thought we were talking about nursing.
Sorry, Robin, on that topic. Thank you, Robin. Great memory, Judy. Go ahead. So nursing. Robin's asking, what's the hardest part of nursing?
I think the classes, like one of the harder classes was pharmacology, which is all the drugs. Yeah, yeah. I thought that class.
You
Was
got a
hard.
lot of drugs in Baltimore.
Anyways, we did these validations. They were pretty strict. Like, they were pretty strict. Yeah.
Just to tell you, as your friend who used to look out for you, I'm really happy that you did the nursing, because I think I was probably pretty worried about your ability to pick a career and stick with it.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that was something you should be really proud of.
Yeah, I think I've committed for 11 years so far.
11 years.
Yeah.
I think you were thinking about pharmacy before that.
You know, I think if I look back, I probably would have.
You telling me you can't be a pharmacist, Judy, and those people at CVS can be a pharmacist?
You're right. I'm just saying I think what attracted me to nursing, like for me, I thought it was like the ability, like the caring aspect of it. You know, just being, you know, taking care of people who are sick and who are vulnerable.
Okay.
You know.
Well,
yeah.
anything else before we kind of move on from your education? Because I think we probably want to talk a little bit more about your career. But I don't want to or anything.
It's a hard program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 1 out of 3 dropout?
You know, it's funny. When I applied, I was told that 1 out of 10 get accepted.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have to say, after the first semester, you do realize that you don't see certain faces again. Like, oh.
1 out of
Yeah,
10 being accepted?
Yeah.
For those who are listening, that means 9 out of 10 are being rejected. For those who aren't good at math. I'm just joking, Judy.
Okay.
That's teasing.
Yeah, that's what I was told. And I mean, I didn't know this like after the first semester. Like, oh, I noticed like you know, certain people are not here anymore. So.
Oh, God bless you, Judy.
No.
School without walls means something.
It's actually a magnet school.
School, okay.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
Just letting you know. Okay, yeah.
No, yeah, brag.
No, I'm not
My wife
I'm
went
not-
there. Yeah, I take credit. I part of it.
I still
All
want
right.
you to look down on it.
What do you mean look down?
On the school.
The only thing I look down is the School Without Walls basketball team. Side note, Everett tried to make the School Without Walls basketball team and he couldn't make it, and his dad goes, "You mean you can't even make School Without Wins basketball team?" Side note, Judy, I apologize.
Okay.
It was a little tangent. Being silly. All right, Judy, so you finish nursing school, and then where do you get your first job?
So in nursing school, we did different, I guess like low rotations, and I was always in the cardiac. Like for adult health, I was in cardiac. For peds, I was in heart and kidney.
Sorry, what's that mean for peds?
Pediatrics.
Oh, pediatrics,
Yeah. You know, it's heart and kidney, and I knew for a fact I did not like cardiac.
Okay.
Yeah, for some nurses, it just made sense, but for me, it didn't. Like it just didn't make sense. So during my last semester of nursing school, you can do a, I think they call it the Clinical Scholars Program, where you can apply to any unit at University of Maryland Medical Center. And if you do your final semester, when you do your final semester there, they would pay for your last semester of school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually applied to oncology. It's so funny. It's like I knew my grandmother passed from cancer, but I wasn't that close to her because she was in Macau. I didn't know, I wasn't too familiar with cancer, but it was, for me, I thought it was a good mix of just hand holding and caring, and a little bit of critical thinking. So for me, oncology was honestly, it seemed like the perfect unit.
Let me just check with other people. Do you guys know what oncology means? I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I read your book. Yeah, so
I mean, it could be any ology.
Except in your book, yeah.
I have no idea, but yeah, I found out what oncology meant the hard way.
And I went to nursing school thinking that I would do mother and baby.
Jessica's mom,
Yes.
Teresa.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Mother and baby. And I remember during the rotation at Shady Grove Hospital, I was like, man, it's just, I mean.
I hate baby. You hate baby.
No, it's not that. It's just I felt like it was mostly education, emotion, and not like hand holding, but a lot of emotional support. You know, a lot of emotional support and a lot of education, which is very important in nursing, which is very, very important.
All bedside manners.
But I think for me, like I don't know, like I just felt like oncology was literally like the perfect unit. Like it had,
Okay.
yeah, like there was the emotional support, the caring component, and there's also like the, you know, critical thinking component as well.
So let's go into that. So you got oncology, and where was your first hospital?
University of Maryland Medical Center
Where is that?
in Baltimore.
Sorry, apologize. It's the same place connected to your school.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Why don't you tell me more? How was that? What year was this?
This was 2012.
And you were 25 years old.
25, yeah. Yes.
Was that like a punch in the face?
It was.
That first year?
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. It was the hardest year.
I know you would laugh like Judy. You just go there and cry and you get back to your work. That's what some of the stories you would tell me.
Yeah. I mean, I prayed before I walk into the hospital. There was another nurse that also went to nursing school with me. And I remember we both would park at the same park garage and we would both walk, but she worked in a completely different unit. I think she left like 3 or 4 months after starting. But
You're walking into battle.
But I remember she would cry
on the way she walked.
on her walk into the hospital. I remember. Yeah.
What was her unit?
I don't remember. I think it was a med-surg unit.
Do you think oncology is harder than most departments?
I think depending on which hospital you're at, like if you're in a community hospital with oncology, I feel like they usually say the patients are not as complicated. I think oncology is definitely harder, and like for example, University of Maryland is a comprehensive cancer center, so you know the patients are a little bit more complicated. They have all these different study drugs that are out.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
so
told me
there's
it
a
was
lot
good.
going on.
You told
Yeah.
me it was good. It was like a lot of research involved.
Oh yeah. I think it's a great hospital. Yeah, I mean, I think in Baltimore everybody knows about Hopkins.
Yeah.
But University of Maryland and Hopkins are actually both comprehensive cancer
There's
centers.
another place, Sloan and Kettleman.
Sloan Kettering.
Sloan and Kettering.
Yeah.
That's a separate.
Yeah, it is, and it's also. I mean, that one's in New York, but I think it's in New York. But that's also a comprehensive cancer center.
What made the job so difficult? Like when you're walking in, what is the stress that you are anticipating?
It's unpredictable. Like you don't know. Like you don't know how heavy your load is going to be. Like how many patients are on chemo that day. You don't know if they're like a total care. You don't know like how stable they are. It's just the unpredictability. Like you just cannot predict.
But what makes the stress though? Is it like I have to serve so many patients? The patients are difficult. You have to spend working with them. Like what made it like difficult?
I think it's like you have to. I think as a new nurse, you want to be able to do the right thing. Like you don't want to make any med errors. You want to do everything correctly. You just want to be able to do everything correctly.
So am I correct? Maybe I'm reading you. There's a lot of moving parts, and you're in the middle of all these moving parts.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Between you and the patient, you and the doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe you and the pharmacist.
And the pharmacist and the physical therapist and the registered
You're trying to
dietitian.
juggle all these things, and then you have a lot of patients.
Yes, yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so because the unit was very critical, the max patients we could get was 4 patients.
So am I hearing you when you say critical? We're talking about the end of life.
No,
Is that what you're
the
saying?
patients are really sick. It was a lot of acute leukemias, and the leukemia population, when everything happens very fast. So when they drop, they like go downhill like really quickly.
Leukemia. Explain that.
It's a blood cancer.
Are there 2 kinds of blood cancers?
There's many different types of blood
Okay.
cancers. But I guess the acute leukemias, they're the ones that with something, they're really sick.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to ask? I got it.
What is a nurse's relationship to a patient? Like how close or distant do they become? Like is it almost like in a sense like you have to be at a certain distance because to get too close would be too difficult for a nurse? Or is it really up to the nurse to decide? And
I think
What's your experience with that?
I think when I started nursing, I feel like with the maybe it's just me or maybe it's just this with a lot of young nurses. I feel like it's hard to separate yourself from your patients. I feel like we do take it home. You know, I mean,
If you say you only had 4 cases or patients, that's pretty. What does a normal nurse have like outside of?
well, that's the thing. I've not worked in any other
I
unit.
assume they have more than 4.
Oh yeah, oh they do. I think ICU the max is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, at that at University of Maryland. Yeah, ICU
Okay.
the max is 2. Yeah, it just depends on, and some I think a lot of med surg units it's definitely more than that.
So let me take a big picture, and then we're going to zoom in later. I assume going in, you were young, a little immature,
I don't know.
naive a little bit.
I was naive. I think
Yeah.
I was naive because
When I say immature, I mean like there were a lot of you were still raw in many areas.
well, I felt like when I started nursing, you keep thinking you're like helping people get better. That's
Okay.
all you keep thinking. Everything's very happy. They get better in the end. I don't know. I think reality just hit me. I was like, not everybody gets better, and especially with the acute leukemia population. I remember I would ask a lot of the senior nurses, like, how long? Like for me, some of my favorite patients that I remember from inpatient. I think from diagnosis to when they passed away, I think it was about 2 years or a little bit less.
So they would
For
come
all
in
of them.
and out of the hospital, and you'd see them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And I think I remember some of the senior nurses would say, I mean, they said a few patients survive for 5 years, but
Any stories stand out during this time that kind of you remember those first couple of years
I mean,
or patients?
I think when I started nursing, I was very, I don't know if zealous is the right word, but I think at that time, like I wasn't dating anybody. I didn't have any kids, I didn't have my own family. And I felt like I pour so much emotion into my work. I remember I had this one patient that I loved. And he came in for his induction chemo. And then, like usually with the acute leukemias, after they get the induction chemo on day 14, they do. So one way to, when they get diagnosed, one way was through a bone marrow, where they go in their bone marrow and take out some of the cells. And during day 14, they would do another bone marrow to see if the induction chemo worked, and he hit remission. And I don't think remission really means like cancer, like no cancer cells in your body at all. It just means they're undetected. They're like below the surface. They're undetected, to my understanding. But then I remember, and it's always this. I remember there's always this because when these patients hit remission, a lot of them come, a lot of them relapse.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
So it's just this fear in the back of my head, like you see them celebrating, they're so happy, they're going over the bone marrow transplant, but in the back of my head, you knew that the relapse was very possible. And I remember when he got admitted one time, I saw his name on the roster and I was like, oh no. And he was having the same symptoms that he did when he was first diagnosed
How
with
old
acute
is this
leukemia.
guy?
He was young, he was in his 40s.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember when we didn't have a bed at that time, so he and his wife were just waiting in the waiting room until a bed was available. And I remember, I clocked out already, I'm done with my shift, but I remember I just sat there with them, before a bed was available. I don't know, I just felt like maybe I had a lot of time, but I just felt like I just poured so much emotions I did a little bit extra. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, of course.
Yeah.
And do you know ultimately what happened? Do you know his ultimate story?
Oh, he passed away.
He did.
He did, yeah. He passed away. I remember I was not working that day, and I was off that day. And I knew he wasn't doing too well. But I remember when I left for my shift that day, I wasn't his nurse that day, but I stopped by his room to say goodbye to him anyways, like, oh, bye, I'm off tomorrow, but I'll see you the following day because I'm back,
You want to help him stay positive.
Yeah, the following day. And I remember when I came back the following day, he passed away. And I was, yeah. And I remember crying, But I feel like, it's always like that. Like I remember when I had like my first patient in the hospital that passed away. It was Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day. And I remember when he passed away, it's like my first time experiencing death right in front of me. And I remember I left the room and I just cried. I was like, oh my gosh, like what just happened, And then it's like, oh, you have 3 other patients. Okay, get yourself together. Go back in the other rooms and take care of your other patients.
I'm assuming that you have to be professional.
Yeah, of course.
You
Yeah.
can't
Oh
let
yeah.
them see you
Oh
cry.
yeah. No. I cried by myself. Yeah. Someone in like a little corner cried. It's like, okay, all right, you got 3 other patients. Come on.
You gotta make sure
Go hang their drugs now.
Are there other corners with other nurses crying? Do you have to find the open corner? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I don't know how. I do think. I feel like
I'm sure it's tough. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like a lot of nurses should really get together and
Like an
share
AA
something
group?
like that. Yeah, yeah, just share something like that. So our hospital actually started giving therapy sessions, to healthcare workers, and I almost feel like maybe they're acknowledging us or something. But I think this was the initiative after COVID. I think.
I would hope that every patient and their family acknowledges how important nurses are. Because to me, I feel that at least I'm lucky because I went to Nova. When I say I went to Nova, I mean I went with my father, and I thought the nurses there were awesome.
I remember when my first patient passed. It was Christmas Day. I was like, okay, get yourself together, and I went to check on my other patients, and this was Christmas Day, so there was lots of food in the hospital because they probably feel bad that the nurses are working, so they make a nice little feast for nurses, food, And I remember I was eating, and I remember one of the senior nurses came up to me, and she was like, oh, the family of the patient that passed away, they don't want to leave yet. They want to thank you. And, it meant a lot to me. It really did. Yeah. But, at the same time, I don't know. Like, I felt like I didn't deserve to be thanked. I didn't. I almost saying like, oh, it's not like I'm just doing my job, but like, yes, I'm.
You don't feel entitled to attention because you feel like there's some other thing that deserves more of their attention.
Exactly.
You don't want to detract from that.
No, I didn't. I didn't know how to accept their them saying thank you. And it was a lot of them in the room. It was like 10 of them in the room. It was very emotional. I remember. It was a lot of praying. It was a lot of crying. It was very chaotic.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure you grew up very quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I remember. So I remember one therapist was saying how when you're 25, like some part of your brain starts to like form. And I think being able to witness death at that time, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was the right timing. My brain finally formed. Like completed.
It finished it?
No.
Yeah.
Like it's completed.
Okay,
My
gotcha.
frontal cortex is completed, and
Okay.
all of a sudden I'm just witnessing like life and death.
So are you saying that, yeah, to be honest for a moment, death does make you grow quickly.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
For you, you're just saying you happen to be 25, but certainly for other people.
Oh yeah. No.
100%.
Yeah. Definitely at a younger age. Yeah, for sure.
What do you want to say, Ryan?
So how do you? What types of things that have you grown from this in terms of? So, I mean, you've obviously experienced a lot. You've experienced a lot very early in your career, and you're a nurse 10 years in. 10 plus years in. So what are the types of things you'd say you've really grown in as a nurse?
How have you changed?
Yeah, developed.
Maybe I'll ask you inside of work and outside of work.
Well, I'm not very introspective.
I know. We could talk about your personality test is tricky for you. Yeah.
So he took my personality test during a retreat one time, and the pastor says no cheating, and then I remember Matthew was saying how can you cheat on a personality test?
One can't cheat.
Well, I can't cheat on the personality test. Yeah.
Judy, stop copying my answers.
So I don't know how I have grown. I don't know.
That's all right.
But I do think that being an oncology nurse, I don't know if it really has positively affected me. I think it's negatively.
I'm not surprised. You can change it. How have you changed the way you look at life then? Don't look at yourself.
Oh,
Obviously, you're
I
saying
mean,
that's
it's
kind of tough.
it's
How have you changed the way you
just
look at everyone?
fragile. You know, I used to always think cancer was of older age. You know, you grow older, you get, you know, you're more prone to more mutations in your body. But I mean, it's just like you see all age groups, all walks of life. You know, and you know, like for example, like this is just an example. You know, for example, I people always emphasize, the dangers of smoking and stuff like that. But yes, smoking does increase your risk of like 10 to 15 different cancers. But you do see like a lot of healthy,
Sure, of course.
patients too. So no alcohol, no drugs. Just a healthy lifestyle. They eat well, they exercise regularly. Like, you just see all kinds of people. I definitely felt like in Baltimore, you see, I guess because it was such a big cancer center, you see really affluent people, but then you see people from Baltimore City, So, I think I've kind of interacted with all different kinds of patients.
So you said you feel that life is more fragile, and you
Yes.
just don't know. That's what I think you're saying.
I think
right?
so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian. My mind is blank. As I'm no, it's a lot.
Did you want to share anything about
No.
yourself? Or it's all about Judy?
Yeah, actually, let's change topics. I did want to be selfish for a second,
Okay, go ahead.
but I'm not usually because I'm arrogant. I mean, I'm humble. I think I apologize. Good, thank you, Robin. I remember the last time I was in touch with Judy was when my dad had cancer. Yeah. I think you must have called him or he called you or what happened there.
I remember I visited the hospital when your dad was there at Fairfax Hospital. I remember that. I remember like I think it's like I have to go. I have
Well,
to.
he's your dad's dentist. Your dad needs more treatment for his teeth. Those discounts you would give your dad for 2 for 1. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about a little side note. One time, Judy's dad came to my dad's office, and he goes, "Oh, there's his tooth is hurting." And my dad takes out a tooth, and he goes, "I don't know what your dad would come." My dad said, "No, you took out the wrong tooth." And my dad goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. What you complain? You got 2 for the price of 1." Is that true, Judy? What a good dentist. I'm sure you're in charge of 2 co-pays. So there was a connection there between Judy and my father. And a more comical note. Yeah, so I don't remember. Tell me about that. Actually, just tell me because I've never heard the side of the story. The only thing I know is that I called you.
I remember, and I left inpatient during that time. I was working outpatient, and I was the nurse for 3 oncologists during that time. I remember.
And I called you, and I asked you what was the diagnosis. And you remember what you told me? What'd you tell me?
I told you it wasn't good.
And I asked you, how much time did they say? And do you remember what you told me?
I asked the oncologist I was working with.
And what did you tell me?
I remember it was in months. It was in months.
You told me you're not allowed to tell me because my dad made you promise that. So I never knew what the diagnosis was. But why don't you tell me your experience with my dad? What your conversation was, and just for my own curiosity.
I always respected him.
And what did he say to you?
I remember he was very concerned for you. He was very, very concerned. Like, I felt like he was trying to protect you.
Of course.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, he's the patient. So
Yeah.
I want to respect the
Of course.
patient's wishes.
And I respect you for that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's for me, it's what he wanted.
No, of course.
So, yeah.
I would say just for me, I'm not here to say I deserve any sort of pity, but the fact that I didn't know what the diagnosis was made it a lot more confusing for me because I didn't know what to expect in terms of timeline. I didn't know whether it'd be 5 years, 1 year, it was curable, incurable. I just kept thinking, oh, we have time. But according to my aunt, who talked to my father, she said that the doctor told him you have 6 months, and he died 6 months later. So
I do remember when I asked the oncologist that I was working with.
yeah.
I remember when your dad told me the number of months. I was like, oh, it did line up to what he said.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So, you know what? It would have helped me to kind of process it and take care of business, square away all this paperwork.
I see what you're saying.
And it would have prepared me, But of course, the most important thing is to honor the clients
Yes. Yes.
or my father. And I don't
Yeah.
fault him in any way. I'm just letting you know that they did blindside me more so. And that's okay. It's all right. Yeah.
Did you go to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went to some of the. I remember you telling me you shared with me you went to some of his doctor
Yeah, of
visits
course.
with him.
Yeah, but that he didn't tell me the initial diagnosis, which
Right.
was private when I wasn't there.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Got it.
Well, any other thoughts? Maybe your perspective on life changed. I don't know how this blends with you being spiritual and us growing up in church together or anything else. Going through all of these. Does it? Certainly for me, it's made me a lot more sensitive to other people.
Oh, I mean, I feel like I have this one quote that I like. It says, it's like, be kinder than necessary because everyone is going through some kind of a battle.
Is that in your email?
Yes.
I think that's your, what's that called?
Signature.
The signature?
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
Be kinder than necessary because everyone is going through some kind of a battle.
You read a few more chapters. It's the same exact thing. I titled it, We All Carry Crosses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think, I try to be nice to everybody unless someone's like a real jerk.
What would you do? Slowly give them the medication. I'm sorry, it's backed up. We don't have it yet.
I've had some pretty patients who are just jerks, just straight up. Yeah, but
You can't blame them.
you can't blame them. They're in an environment where they literally have very little control.
They need some control.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't take it personally.
Let me end with maybe one last question. How do you think all the people you treated, how they feel about you, what you think you added to their life and their families? What was your contribution? Because I think that you probably don't think enough about your self-worth. You probably think a lot about your patients, but you don't think about how important you are. You just think about them. I would assume so. Because in the heat of battle, you don't have that ability.
I honestly think my job, even to this day, I feel like as a nurse, you kind of, I don't treat it like it's a profession, but I don't treat it like a job per se. I feel like there's this level of personal responsibility in my job to do the best that you can. I truly feel like that.
You feel like, I got you. It's a calling.
Yes, I do feel like that. So, I don't treat it like, oh, it's an hourly job. This is how much I, get paid per hour. I really don't see it that way.
I get it. It's because you believe that what you do is so important that whatever you get out of it is just irrelevant. It's just you just want to do.
Yeah,
what
I
you
just
feel
I just
called to.
want to I just want to do my best.
Yeah.
I honestly just do. But I feel like it's just hard. It's like it's a toll on me. It's probably a toll on a lot of nurses.
It's a toll on everybody.
Yeah.
It's a toll on the families.
Yeah, it's an emotional. It's very emotional. I mean, I would say probably physical too.
Yeah.
People are, our backs hurt.
Oh,
Yeah,
I believe it.
yeah,
Good thing you're not tall. You probably have more back pain.
I've taken care of patients who are like 400 pounds who are total care. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Judy, you're that strong?
No, you.
I know you're strong, by the way.
No, you don't do that. You call a bunch of nurses to help turn them.
I'm sure
there's
they're
no
men.
way.
A lot of men.
You call a bunch of nurses and techs to help turn them
Okay.
and help them up. This. Yeah.
Anything else you want to share before we wrap up? Anything I didn't talk about that maybe you felt on your heart?
Oh.
Maybe to other people who are listening, who are going through, or will one day go through something similar to what I've gone through.
I mean, I don't have an answer. I.
This is your interview right now. I need you to answer on the spot. I'm just kidding with you.
I mean, I've seen all kinds of patients, and there's no solution. Like I mean, I do wish one day, I mean, if the world was like cancer free.
We'd be complaining about something else.
I'm just saying, like, I hate cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I hate what it does to people. I hate what it does to their families. It sucks.
Let me try to reframe
And,
it.
and I have to say this, though. I have to say this. I think cancer patients are probably the strongest people I've ever met. To be able to, to be able to wake up every day, through that struggle. And then, and especially, I guess, I remember back in the hospital, when they finally reach remission and that heartbreak, when it
Comes back.
when it comes back, that heartbreak, I mean, it is painful.
Yeah. You mentioned, I'm going to end with this thing, and I'll let you kind of elaborate on this.
Okay.
I would assume that because you deal with life and death on a regular basis, you feel that sometimes people complain too much about things that aren't important. So you said to me, sometimes you don't get why your kids, you're like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's just a toy.
Who cares?
Yeah.
And I assume that that's an important perspective on life, to not sweat the small stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Why don't you explain your thoughts on that?
Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's like nothing.
Yeah. Focus on the things that are important.
Yeah. But, I mean, I can't do that. I don't know if, can't really make my kid, it's like, my kids don't have any other perspective. They want that toy. They want that ice cream. It's just.
I want to eat at that restaurant, Judy. I need to eat at that Michelin star restaurant. What would you say to adults then, who can have perspective?
It's not the end of the world. I don't know. I think it's for me, though, I have to say, I think because it's so fragile, it makes you think of life as being so fragile. I have to say, like, I used to own a lot of stuff, and I feel like I just keep collecting stuff.
Before.
Yeah, before. And I
I
think.
see a lot of Snoopy stuff.
No, well, let's not look at that. But I do remember when I started nursing, I do remember there was this one point in time where I was just constantly bringing stuff to the thrift stores, because for me, it's just like life is so fragile. And I do feel like, if one day I'm not here, I do not want anybody to, like, deal with all this junk that I
So you're
have.
saying you're trying to remove the clutter in your life? Is that what you're saying? There's too much clutter in your life.
It's too much clutter. But it's also like when I pass, you don't want, I don't know, like I just don't want a family member or a loved one to deal with all of my mess. You know, I just wanted to make it as easy as possible for them, you know, to like declutter the life that I had here.
One of the things, this is kind of silly, but I think it relates to what you're saying. One of the kids named Edward went to a funeral 2 weeks ago. And his sister goes, wow, you've been going through a lot of funerals lately. And that's because I encouraged him to do visitation. Because I feel like if you're around those environments where people are fragile, it always gives you perspective. So being around death helps you to balance things out.
Yeah.
Because it's a bookend for your life. And when you have that perspective, you know how to understand the moment better.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
I
agree.
view life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, so, you know, it's funny. It's like, I think it depends on where you go in nursing. Like, if you're a mother and baby, you see life every day. Oh, new baby me. You know?
I see a personality that aligns with that. It's always happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's also, I'm sure there's also tough moments in mother and baby as well.
Probably burned down nurses. Yeah,
No, like, you know, like, what if a mother's at,
course.
like, a high-risk mother?
Absolutely.
You know? But, you know, I'm just saying, like, in oncology, it's kind of like, you know, we're not, you know, it's funny. I remember there's so many patients that when I was an inpatient, there were so many patients that were getting ready to go to hospice because, you know, there's no more treatments left.
Mm.
You know, it's just all comfort care now. It's all palliative care.
Right.
You know, but, you know, they just end up passing away in the hospital. And I just find out it's just really sad. You know, like when it's just too late, I think that's what it is. Like when it's just, like for me, I feel like, you know, either it's the physician or either it's the families that keep pushing the treatments. Like, oh, maybe there's a different study that they could try, or maybe they could try this. You know, like I feel like they just keep pushing it to the point where the patient
selfish.
and the patient in the end is just not comfortable
I understand.
anymore. Like we have a patient right now. This is outpatient, but she's in her 70s, and her husband's also in his 70s too. And she also has acute leukemia, but she's gone pretty far with acute leukemia. Like she's getting her treatments outpatient. So, you know, she's gone pretty far for it. But I remember she did 2 rounds of this new chemo drug, and, you know, the oncologist really thought this is good. You know, I think we're at the good spot right now with her cancer, but the husband wanted to do a 3rd round. Because he wanted
To eradicate.
eradicate every cancer cell. And after that 3rd round, her body just gave up.
Or white blood cell.
Her counts are not recovering. Her platelets are always low, so she always has to go to the emergency room for a platelet transfusion so she won't bleed.
Yeah.
You know, uncontrollably. You know, but it's, you know, and you know, I'm not sure how she's doing right now, because the last time I've heard, like they have to call rapid response for the last time I've heard. So I really, you know, I
understand what you're saying.
yeah, I think I'm a big believer in palliative care and just comfort
I understand.
care. Yeah.
I think what you're saying, if I could understand you correctly, put the patient first over your own selfishness. I think sometimes you just need to do what makes them happy. If they don't want to
then there's some patients where they're like, I am tired.
I'm sure.
I am done. I am tired. I just want to be comfortable.
I've heard this many
Yeah,
times.
and I notice, you know, families do keep pushing.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember, just a side note, when my dad said palliative care, I said, all right, does that mean he can eat whatever he wants? My dad said, let's go. Game on. His face lit right up. We started giving him Slurpees. And you know what?
Let him enjoy himself. Let him enjoy
enjoyed a
himself.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And it's the best you can do. So don't be selfish.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah, and I think, you know, I feel like some physicians are a little pushy, and I do feel like there's this good movie, it's called Wit, W-I-T, has Emma Thompson in it. I don't know if you've seen it. No? Okay. I think it's it's a good movie of a patient that was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and her oncologist, who's doing all these different studies, kept pushing for treatment, even though she couldn't tolerate the side effects. Like, it was just making her very miserable. I actually really like that movie.
no, it's
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. I actually really liked it. Yeah.
Well, let me end with just one thought, because I know it's getting late. I will say that after my experience being with my dad in the hospital, every time a nurse came by and they smiled, it made a difference. Being professional makes a big difference, Judy. So, just want to say I appreciate what you all do.
Yeah, thank you.
It's almost as important as my job.
God.
Just kidding. Her job is definitely deserving of more
Everybody's job's
respect.
important.
I was just kidding, Jude. That was a joke. Your job. You know what? To both of us making a difference in people's lives. I make a difference with kids at the beginning of life, and you make a difference with people at the end of their life. So God bless you, Judy, for your profession. And I pray that you'll never get tired, or you'll have the strength to continue to know how important it is that what you do.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's true. You make a huge difference. Smile.
yeah,
Yeah. What you do.
yeah.
Even when you're crying, you probably smile.
Yeah.
And behind that smile is tears. I'm sure. Anyways, with that being said, if you enjoyed it, I hope you enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed catching up with my beautiful, young, old-time friend, Judy.
You've never called me beautiful.
There's always a first for everything.
Sorry, that was sexual harassment. Judy's giving me the code, like, don't say anything like that again. So, Mike, that was gay.
That was.
That was gay.
That
Judy.
was.
Okay.
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Me too. Part of me too now. All right, guys. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. Take care.